Hey everyone, I'm Aurora Light, and I wanted to come on and ask you what your superpower is. Because I know you've got several, at least one that is something that your soul has carried with you so you can really fulfill your soul mission. If you're watching this, I know you're with me, right? We're here to light up the world, and it starts by amplifying our own soul light, right? Our own soul resonance. So I wanted to share with you a few things about that. So I love superhero movies. I loved Superman the most when I was a little kid. So I was a big fan of Superman because he was an alien, and his name was Kal-El, his birth name. And so my birth name is KC. Kal-El, KC. Can you see how we were practically the same person? So I really latched onto that when I was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. And I always felt that kind of similar essence to him, that I felt like I was here to do some things in the world, and I was here to make the world a better place. And I didn't think really too much more of that until more recently in my life. But I was told about a decade ago that I have a superpower, and it's to see the silver lining in anything. And that was the best thing my friend could have ever told me. So I was like, yeah, I totally can do that. Any challenge, any problem, any obstacle, any shitty thing that happens, I'm like, ooh, but you know what that's gonna do? Or at least this is gonna help us with this other thing. So basically, I have always looked for the opportunity when things are seemingly difficult. And I really feel like that aligns with my perspective that I kind of figured out when I was in my late teens. But I always had this feeling that Earth was this school, and we were coming to learn and grow and to become more badass spiritual warriors, right? I always knew we weren't from here, that we were more than just our bodies, and we would get to play in the cosmos in a variety of ways. That just made sense to me. I was raised Catholic, but I was always like, yeah, they're getting some of it right and a lot of it wrong. And so I obsessively studied all these different religions, and I came to all of this conclusion about Earth being a school on my own. And then as soon as I had come to that, like that inner knowledge, all of this agreement in the world just started appearing, and all of these other people that were saying that. I was like, oh, good. So that was a really fun thing for me, not to read about it, but to like come to that through my own research and analysis and my own like intuitive knowing. So that was a fun realization, to be like, okay, what kind of skills am I here to hone? So everything that life is throwing at me is actually to make me more of a ninja badass warrior, to be able to do this life thing. And I noticed, as I would get older and I would move and navigate through obstacles, and I would learn from the challenges. We do that thing as we make mistakes, we learn and grow from them, and we're like, we're not going to do that again. Okay, this is going to point me to where I'd rather be. All of that, it really just solidified my knowledge that that's what this life was all about. And then I started connecting with other people who thought the same way. And then superheroes started going from the like nerd realm into the mainstream. And I just reveled in it. I've always loved not even imagining, but just like tuning into what our superpowers are. And honestly, there are a bunch of things that we have been really hiding from ourselves, right? Because we wanted to kind of handicap ourselves when we came to Earth. So when you incarnate, usually you don't remember how much of a miraculous divine creator of like the universes that you are, right? At whatever level you happen to be at with that. So you don't really know how amazing you are. So you have to go through life with blinders on, going like, I have no idea that I actually have all of this power to create my reality. And it was by design, because we actually learn the best when we have these artificial limitations imposed upon us. If we had all of our powers, we basically would not be needing to find all the creative solutions. So because when you're kind of handicapped and you can't just like snap things into being like you can at some of the mental and causal realms, things where parts of us do still exist, then you have to get more creative and you have to put the work in. And so we came here to experience creation in this dense form where creations took time and energy, and we learned a lot from that. And there's so much I could say about that, but we collectively feel like we have learned enough from that. And what we also came to do is to experience this elevation of consciousness as well. So we wanted to come here to do this experience of remembering who we actually are. So we're actually these multidimensional creatures, these fractals of the infinite creator of this universe and the multiverses. This universe is founded upon unconditional love and light. Those are the founding principles, and it's the separation that creates the fear and the scarcity and all of these things. This idea that we are separate from the source of everything that we actually are is what has created the chaos in this realm, for good reason. So we could experience what that separation is like. And depending on what dimension you are in, there's all of these different explanations and experiences that you can have, because there's an infinite amount of truths in the infinite fractalization of source. And really, it's all dependent upon your perspective. So we could talk about this in so many ways, but we're in this process right now of remembering. And I'm going to be honest with you. I always knew I was an alien, and I always remembered that I was more than just me, just as Casey, and that I was a multidimensional being. I didn't share that with a lot of people, though, because people weren't talking about it. And so through my years, I started talking more and more about this more freely with people that were safe. And then it was last summer where I was really getting this call to take off some of the masks and be more authentic and vulnerable and speak about my multidimensional experiences. And that was scary at first, and my heart would be beating in my throat every time I would like post about something or say something publicly about, talking to spirits or being a channel, starseedness, like all of the like weirdest woo stuff. I had only ever in the past spoken about with people who were safe, because I had from my old programming, from the collective consciousness, from all these past lives where it was not safe to be like fully out of the spiritual closet or whatever it happens to be about my multidimensional nature, because in the past that did not always go so well. Stoned, exiled, burned, drawn and quartered. It's happened to so many of us, but that's not now. That's the thing. So there was a lot of healing that I needed to do, a lot of repatterning, so I could be able to come out and like just talk about it really freely on YouTube and not even blink. My heart rate's not up. It's really comfortable for me now because I've been practicing. But this is this waking up to our multidimensional self and to our infinite potential, and the fact that we are actually like these divine creators embodied in form. This concept is coming out more and more, and if you're watching this, it's probably not news to you, intellectually at least, but we're going to start to have this more physical experience of that multidimensionality, and we're going to start to be able to tune in and tap into more of our past lives and even parallel lives, future lives. The Akashic records are going to become more available to us. As we raise our frequency, we're going to start to be able to communicate with aspects of ourselves that are not in our bodies. This is not all that we are. And so it's quite the experience, and it can be a little disconcerting. So part of my soul mission is to support the people that are here to light up the world. If you're listening to this, you're on the same soul mission as me. We're here to light up the planet, but it starts with elevating our own frequency. So that's kind of the thing, is that, there are a lot of problems on Earth right now, lots of, I'm not going to list them, you know what they are, even more than we are conscious of, right? We can't solve any of these problems by the same level of consciousness that created them. So all the third dimensional scarcity and fear and separation, it's not going to work to do the things that I know we're capable of. And I know you feel this in your heart too. So we actually could have this experience, this planet where everybody has enough food, where people are kind to each other, where we help each other out, and it's not us versus them, right? This place of unity and collaboration. So a lot of you in your multidimensional selves, you have experienced this in so many ways on different planets and just from different dimensional frequencies. So it's a remembrance for you. And so what we are going to be doing is waking up to remember who we really are and what we are capable of if we work together. And it all begins within, with accessing our inner technology. And this is going to happen through our ascension process. We raise the frequency of our consciousness outside of the density of that fear and separation and all of that to unity, to these places of abundance and kindness and all of those higher vibrational frequencies. But it happens through a soul embodiment process. And so what we are doing right now is transmuting all of the density. And that's like, we got eons of density that has to be transmuted. So it's a whole big journey. It doesn't just happen like that. In the past, ascension was like actually dissolving out of your physical form, and then you'd be in a different state. But we're going through like an organic ascension process. And so as we are becoming more aware of our multidimensionality, we are going to be transforming, transfiguring, transmuting all of this density to be able to connect with all these other levels that we already are, to remember our infinite potential. And I know that it is a really interesting, complicated, sometimes overwhelming and terrifying journey at times. So I am here to hold space for that. And I just wanted to share with you that I'm actually going to be running a free challenge on Facebook for everybody. It's going to be 5 days, and I've titled it Awaken Your Infinite Potential and Activate Your Superpowers. So the superpower comes from really tuning into your multidimensionality and accessing, being so aligned, body, mind, and soul, that you can connect with these higher levels that you are. And from that place, you have access to a lot of magic. And I'm talking about co-creating as the universe kind of magic. And I'll be delving into more of that in the challenge. So it will be a 5-day in-depth dive into so much of what it's going to be like to be becoming multidimensional, right? Not becoming, because you already are, but becoming aware more so and expanding. If you already are aware of this, we can do all kinds of expansions in that, and there will be a lot of activations and downloads and just upgrades for all of us. I'm already feeling into that energy. I've also been timing this with energetic upgrade that's going to be happening to all of us, where we're going to be unlocking our human potential. So I want to play with you in this sphere, in this realm. So if this sounds like something you want to dive into with me, you can sign up at joyevolution.com/challenge. I'm going to put that in the link below. And I also just wanted to say, if you're kind of digging and resonating with what I'm saying and you'd like to experience more of that, feel free to hit subscribe, because that would be fun to connect more with you. You can hit me up on the social medias and everything as well. I'm Aurora Awakening Light if you're doing the slashy things. I'll put that all in the notes. And I am so excited just to know that all of this new energy is going to be coming in, and that people are available to it now. Like, it's going to be really fun. What do you think Earth is going to look like when people really start to remember that they are these divine creators who actually have this agency to change the world in the way that we want to co-create it? So super magical, super fun. And I wasn't planning on doing this, but a little light language activation is coming through as I've been tapping into these higher realms with you and just talking about us being divine creators. So I'm going to share this with you now. And I'm just going to invite you to drop into your heart space. Let the mind just be an observer and witness. So take a breath with me into your heart space. Tekarina akre ash takareta apokiti atirna ash takarabuta a birana akiete ishtikarana ayate piki itiki iana ash tika areta a horeta akishtika amma takata ishika a na ayate birana akiata opretki ita a shtika apa ataki iti ishtu brut kana ma ashtika ya a ya ta akiana akieta a pa a toreta a posh ka tere da ayana e kiti ia porka da ayashtika his karen aya bosh Doria a tiki I to o toyana ayaka ba akst o gira a borita a kiana ash mia ariana aka o piata ayaka. Just breathing in. So in that first bit, something was coming through that like, I have not really felt before. So me tapping into different levels of my multidimensionality and expressing my soul essence, my unique soul frequency, and the light codes that can come through me to you will activate whatever it is that is ready to be activated in you through these multidimensional frequencies. Because I've gone through that upgrade to be able to share these tones that are activating people with my voice, with the hands, with all of these things. So lots of heart stuff, lots of stuff, still a little bit heavy here in the heart about our belief system of who we really are, right? Who we really are at our core, because there is so much old programming there. So just a little more is coming through for heart healing and clearing out into this, being able to believe that you truly are this fractal of the infinite source, the divine creator of the universe, the multiverse, just another aspect of you. So, yaka a nyaka ariata o kiana ashtiata e kiana ariata e hi kiana yaka hi kiana yashkeana hi kiana yameane hariana te ukayana he kia teshkayama. Breathing that in. I don't know about you, but I have had crazy heart expansions, weird like extra beats of my heart and feelings, flutterings, all kinds of things are happening in my heart space lately. And that is, I know I keep being like, is this a physical thing? Do I need a checkup? But every time I tune in, it's like, no, we're making space, because the heart space is where the soul really comes to reside as part of the soul embodiment process. So making more space for more and more of our multidimensional being and essence to come and live with us. So then you get to do this amazing living as soul embodied. Instead of being separate mind, body, soul, this unification process is a whole journey, but it is such a beautiful one, especially when we focus on the outcome and not just the crazy symptoms that sometimes come along with that. Now, also, my favorite is this saying from the Sufis that says, trust in God, tie your camel to the post. So if you do feel like there's something that requires medical attention, by all means, go and get that. But do tune in with your inner knowing, because sometimes we can feel that it is an energetic upgrade. So I am wanting to share so much love with you for tuning in with me, and really hoping that you'll join me for that challenge. So again, that's joyevolution.com/challenge, and it's about awakening to your infinite potential as this multidimensional being of light and activating the superpowers that come with that. So that's all for today. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now. Lots of love.